Do you know how many phrasal verbs there are that use the word pull? There are lots. Thanks for joining me today as we look at a few phrasal verbs with the word pull and an extra bonus one at the end that's not with the word pull. Hi, I'm Phil from Mayak. I'm an English teacher here in the Czech Republic. Let's start with pull up. Pull up. So this one with a car is when a car is going and it comes to a stop. The car comes to a stop. Of course, it doesn't have to be a car, it could be any vehicle, but that vehicle comes to a stop. He pulled up next to my house. He pulled up next to my house. That means his vehicle came next to my house and it pulled up there and it stopped. Or you could tell somebody, pull up in front of my building. Pull up in front of my building. It means go to the front of my building and bring your car to a stop and I'll be there. Pull away is to withdraw or move away from someone. To withdraw or move away from someone. So as with the vehicle examples, we can take the vehicle and go away from a place. That's to pull away. He pulled away from the restaurant. He pulled away from his house. That means he just began to go away from that place. But I also said you can pull away from someone. And so we can do this maybe on an emotional level. After the death of his father, he started to pull away from the important people in his life. After the death of his father, he began to pull away from some important people in his life. That means sort of emotionally, maybe even physically, he began to not be as close to them. He moved away from them. And we can use the verb pull away. And there's another example, maybe more specific, that we could use with pull away. It means to start to move ahead of some other people. To start to move ahead. Let me give you an example for this one. The fastest runners in the race began to pull away from the others. The fastest runners in the race began to pull away from the others. So in this example, we have the whole group of runners in the race. But the fastest ones, we all start together, but the fastest ones slowly just start to go away, move away from the slower ones because they're faster. So they pulled away. They started to move ahead. So if you're in a race, any kind of race, sort of competition like this, or you like to watch them, this is a phrase that you might be able to use. They began to pull away from the others. To pull in is to arrive at your destination. To pull in is to arrive at your destination. You've been doing some errands, now you're calling home, calling your husband or wife, and you say, I just pulled into the store, I'm going to run in and get a few things, so I'll be home soon. I just pulled in at the store, I'll get a few things and I'll be home soon. I pulled in. Or you're anxiously awaiting your grandmother to come and visit you at your house. You're looking out the window. Oh, she just pulled in. She just pulled in. She just arrived at our house. Pull over, to move to the side of the road. Pull over is to move to the side of the road. Unfortunately, I saw the police lights behind me, so I knew I needed to pull over. The police lights were behind me, and I knew I needed to pull over. And then somebody asks you about it later, what happened? I was pulled over for speeding. I was pulled over for speeding. Have you ever been pulled over for speeding? It isn't a very fun feeling, is it? But now, if it happens to you, you can talk about it in English. Pull through. There aren't too many times that I can think about using this with a vehicle, but one that I would hear pretty often, at least in the United States, is if you're in a drive-through, let's just say McDonald's. Even though I must tell you, all Americans do not eat McDonald's every single day. I know that's kind of a stereotype around the world, but I promise it's not true. But let's just use the example of McDonald's, and you're in the drive-thru, you've ordered through the speaker, and the person might say, okay, you need to come to the next window to pay or to pick up your food. But they could also say, okay, pull through to the next window. Like drive through our little area here to go to the next window. So pull through. They might say pull around. They might use another phrasal verb as well, but they also might say pull through to the next window. So if you like fast food or drive-thrus, maybe that one is helpful to you. But a much more life situation kind of thing is to get through, maybe even you can say survive, to go through some really difficult or dangerous situation in life. So for some reason, maybe somebody had to go to the hospital. It was a very dangerous, life-threatening situation, maybe a bad illness or a car crash. And the doctor came out and told us, your friend was in really serious condition. but I'm confident that he will pull through. I'm confident he will pull through. That means he will come through this difficult time, this difficult illness or injury, and he will be okay afterward. He will pull through. And I've got a bonus one that does not have to do with pull, but it's one that doesn't really fit in other categories, so let's talk about it now. It's pan out. Pan out. Do you have any idea what pan out could mean? If I were to give it a definition, I would say it's for something to end up or conclude in a certain way. To end up or conclude. I'm really happy with the way that the business deal panned out. I'm really happy with the way the business deal panned out. Like, kind of get the big picture of it. And what was the final picture, the final ending to this deal? Oh, I like that. Or you can also use it in the opposite way. Oh, that deal didn't pan out. It didn't pan out. Like when I got to the end of this whole process, it didn't work. It just didn't work. So we can say it didn't pan out. And somebody will understand that to mean it didn't work. I hope your day is panning out really well, and I hope it pans out really well at the end as well, and I hope you have a chance to use a few of these phrasal verbs even today. Have a great day.